Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realise...
I know you're new here. But in future, you must follow the procedures laid down. Everything must be done by the book. Most of the women are in here because they lack self-discipline. It is our job to give them a fixed routine and order in their lives. I take it none of the women knew the set was being brought in?
No.
Well, that's good. You've no idea the lengths they will go to smuggle things in if they have any idea that anything irregular is happening.
Well, it won't happen again, Mrs. Davidson.
That's good. You may go. Miss Conway, it was a very nice gesture. Just make sure the women don't take advantage of your generosity.
No, Mrs. Davidson. It's been raked over the coals by Mrs. Davidson for getting the new television set.
Yes, not following the correct procedures.
Come in.
Bea, I want to talk to you. Bea.
You shouldn't wake her. She's ill.
Who says so?
I do. I spoke to Mrs. Davidson.
Well, you are no longer a doctor in here, Peterson. You're a prisoner. Bea.
I still have medical knowledge.
What's going on? I want to talk to you in private.
I told you she's not to be disturbed. If you don't believe me, go and ask the governor.
Now, I don't have to ask anyone. Now, get out of here.
If I go, I will go to the governor.
I'll talk to you later.
What's that all about? Oh, no. Can't anybody die in peace in this place?
Your visit to the governor's office didn't take that long?
No. I just had to give her the arrangements for B. Smith's medical tests.
Oh, when are they?
Tomorrow.
I wonder what it is. Are you leaving?
Yes, it's been a long day.
Well, you didn't seem in such a hurry when I came in.
No, well, I'm working a split shift. I have to be back here later.
Jim, I know when someone's avoiding me. Now, the least you can do is give me an explanation. What have I done?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jim, please.
All right. This is not your first visit to Wentworth, is it?
Who told you?
It doesn't matter. The point is you didn't.
Well, I couldn't. I was afraid of your reaction. Now, obviously, I was right.
Well, it would have been better than hearing it from somebody else. How do you think I felt hearing that you're a prisoner in here?
I was only on remand.
That's not the point. Others knew and I didn't. No, I have to go. I really am doing a split shift.
Well, could we talk about it later?
Yes, of course.
Jim, I'm sorry.
Oh, morning. How's Bea? Not well. She's sleeping now, so I've left her.
Come on, you two. You are supposed to be in the shower.
It's amazing, isn't it? They're here 5 minutes and they're all exactly the same.
Yes. There's some very interesting psychological studies being done on the effects of uniforms on people.
Really? Well, I'd still like to know if Bea has them.
Wake up, Smith.
What? Oh, I don't have to go to breakfast this morning.
Yeah, well, you still have to shower. Now, come on, if you're not out of that bed in 2 seconds, I report you, sick or not.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Well, Mrs. Davidson gave me a hard time about the television set. She knows all about my record, and so does everyone else. So there's no more secrets, and there's no more special treatment.
Oh, well, big deal. But I don't think that anyone's going to be giving me any special treatment for much longer.
Are you that sick?
And would you care?
Get to the shower.
Mrs. Morris?
Yes?
Sergeant MacDonald from the arson squad. You phoned saying Elizabeth Birdsworth was here.
Yes, come on in. She's still sleeping.
Sleep? Well, how long has she been here?
Since last night.
Oh, why didn't you call us then?
Well, it was late. She was tired and confused. I thought she needed the rest. Besides, I didn't think you'd be on duty then.
Oh, I see.
Oh, they're Lizzie's things. She managed to save them from the fire. Some of them belonged to Sid Humphrey. He died recently. He and Lizzie were very close.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Well, not really. It's not that much to show for a whole lifetime.
No, but a lot to save from a house when it's burning down. I understand Mrs. Birdsworth is over 70.
She's still very active.
Yeah, well, perhaps I could have a word with her.
I'll wake her.
Do I have to see her, Mrs. M?
Of course you do. Oh, talking to coppers makes me real nervous.
Couldn't I just talk to him later?
No, Lizzie, you couldn't. Look, I'm already in enough trouble because I didn't tell them you were here last night. Now, come on. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Ah, Mrs. Birdsworth. It's good to find you at last. We were worried about you. You're not injured, I hope?
No.
Ah, that's good. I've just been admiring Mr. Humphrey's effects. You were lucky to save so many from the fire. How did you manage it?
I just grabbed what I could.
Then you were in the house when the fire started?
Yes.
Well, have you any idea how it started?
No.
Well, which room did it start in?
In the kitchen.
That's strange. Our report suggests that it started in the lounge room.
Oh, yeah. I was in the kitchen, and I saw the smoke, so I ran in the lounge, and I grabbed what I could, and I ran.
Ran where?
I don't know, I just ran.
And you didn't call the fire brigade or the police?
No.
That's rather strange, isn't it?
Well, it'd be very difficult to remember everything at a time like that.
Unless, of course, you wanted to forget.
Now, that's not fair. Unless, of course, you have some special reason for accusing Lizzie.
Nobody's being accused of anything.
Oh, that's typical, isn't it? You make one mistake and then the coppers hound you for the rest of your life.
Now, that fire left Lizzie homeless. Why would she do that?
I've no idea. Although the owner of the house has said that Mrs. Birdsworth has been acting very strangely lately.
Yeah, some very strange things have been happening to me. Somebody was trying to get me out of Sid's house. I knew something like this would happen. Nobody had believed me.
You never mentioned this before.
I told Mrs. Morrison Dore.
Yes, well, that's true. I just thought it was Lizzie's imagination. Being alone after being locked up with so many women for so long.
Was this before the fire or after?
Before.
And whose door?
Doreen Burns.
She's one of the women at the prison?
I visited her before the fire.
I see. Well, thank you for your time, Mrs. Birdsworth. You've been most helpful. Will Mrs. Birdsworth be staying with you for a while, Mrs. Moore?
Oh, certainly, until she can find somewhere else.
Good. As long as I know where to find her.
Those women take forever in the shower, don't they?
Yes, there's no point in hurrying them. You want a coffee?
Thank you. Oh, looks like I've got another heavy week. Doesn't mean much time for social life, does it?
No, particularly when we're short-staffed the way we are. Here you go.
Thank you. I don't see your name down here.
No, I've got a week off.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Didn't I? Must have slipped my mind.
Well, how could it?
Well, you don't tell me everything, so why should I tell you? Excuse me, I've got to make sure that Smith gets to her tests.
Hi. Did you have your test yet?
Yep.
How you feeling?
Bloody awful.
Yeah. I can remember feeling terrible before I had those tests for my heart. Didn't stop you from nagging at me, though, did it?
Teach me to keep my mouth shut next time. What are you doing here? Aren't you in enough trouble for talking to me already?
What else can they do to me? They've already taken away my privileges. Anyway, I'm supposed to be delivering this.
Right.
Yeah, just leaving. Good luck, Mum.
I'm ready for you now, Mrs. Smith.
Go on, Smith, in you go.